So I didn't realize I really didn't break down like my L&D shift for you guys because I didn't get a lot of clips. So I was just trying to share at least with you guys what I did. But basically on L&D, so your morning can start anywhere between 6 a.m. and 6:30, depending on how many patients you have, or sometimes a little bit later. You go there, you pre-round on your patients, meaning you see your patients who delivered before 12 a.m. that day. You know, do a physical exam. You also, you know, of course, before that, you chart review to see, do they have gestational hypertension? Do they have gestational thrombocytopenia, preeclampsia, XYZ, you know, any history that may be pertinent to your exam. You see them on this service. After you see them, you go to morning report. So the senior on the team kind of like runs through all the patients that are either in triage, who are antenatal care, postnatal care, intranatal care, intrapartum care, and you kind of go through all of those. Then you kind of just see patients. You see the patients who you have on the floor. You see patients as they come in for triage, and you do this for about 10 to 12 hours. I mean, in between that, you may have patients that go into labor, patients that need stat C-sections, patients that present who not necessarily presented to be in labor, but are found to have cervical dilation or dilatation, and they need to be admitted to the floors. What else? So that's the main thing that you do. Typically, when you go to, typically for this particular rotation, because there are not many residents that are on the OB, in the OB program and on the L&D shift, with me, you tend to kind of see a lot of triage patients, and they tend to kind of go to more of the deliveries, which sometimes is nice. Well, no, it's not nice. You want to get your deliveries in. So what happens is, depending on what senior you're working with or who you're working with in general, you may get more deliveries versus your other family medicine counterpart or your other off-service counterpart. So that's one of the things that I try to kind of keep in mind, that my experience is not necessarily the same experience that one of my co-residents may have had. So yeah, I just want to give y'all a little breakdown of that, because again, I didn't really talk about it. What else can I say about delivering? You go in, and also, so part of the intrapartum care would be, you know, cervical checks to see if your patient is dilating, if you need to do any type of procedure. So any fetal scalp probes or any Foley balloons for your patients to kind of help progress their labor, and also medications that you might give. So that's kind of like the rundown of labor and delivery. I decided to kind of like add to this, because right now I'm actually on newborn nursery, so I thought it would be proper to kind of put these two videos together, since they kind of go hand in hand. Of course, on L&D, aka labor and delivery, your patient is the mom and the baby. But once the baby is delivered, then that is no longer your patient. You're solely taking care of the mom. So this is where newborn nursery comes in. As soon as the baby is delivered, then voila, here I am to take care of the baby. So there are two instances in which we are required to go to deliveries. One will be delivery, aka a vaginal delivery or a C-section. If there's any type of issue with the mom, any maternal complications that may lead to neonatal complications, we're called to delivery. If there's any fetal complications during the laboring process, we are then called to the delivery along with the NICU team, and we're there to kind of make sure there's no resuscitation that needs to be done. If so, we are there. And just to make sure that the baby is A-okay. And from there, we determine, based on the baby's status, if they come to the newborn nursery, meaning they don't have any complications, they don't need any additional support, or if they need to be admitted to NICU for, again, additional support. So a day in the life of a newborn nursery resident or attending is that we see all the babies. So I see every baby, no matter who delivered them, meaning no matter which residency program at the hospital I work at delivered. Versus when I was on L&D, I only saw mom baby for the program that I'm on, because there is another residency program that also delivers and manages prenatal patients at that hospital. So again, I will see, I'll print off my list of patients. It could be anywhere from 1 baby to 25 babies. Just depends on how many were delivered that night and how many are still in the hospital that have not been discharged for any particular reason. We split the list depending on how many people are there. we go see the baby, so we do a full exam on the baby. We also kind of monitor any labs that they may be following, whether it be glucose protocol. We pretty much, our whole day kind of goes through checking on the babies, making sure that discharges are prepped, they have what they need, if they need any medications going home, if they need any screenings before they leave, all that. So a part of the newborn checklist is a newborn screen, vitamin K, Hep B, and maybe erythromycin, depending on the situation. Parents, some parents do refuse the Hep B. They also do a hearing screen after 24 hours. They also do TC Billy on them after 24 hours to check their bilirubin. There is a cardiovascular screen that's done as well. And those are the major screens that are done outside of just anything that is specific to that baby. So again, if they're LGA, SGA, mom with thrombocytopenia, anything like that, like we do additional labs, or if we have to do a sepsis screen because of premature rupture of membranes, or exposure to some type of other pathogen. So yeah, that's pretty much newborn nursery, and that is what I am currently doing. So I felt like that was a fitting addition to this current L&D video. To the current L&D video. But all right, people, tomorrow's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all of you wonderful people who have children. Again, I am Shan. This is Dream with Shan. I am a resident physician. I have chronicled my journey through medical school and now through residency, and also sharing little bits and pieces about me, my family, my career outside of medicine, so nonprofit work and small business owner. So if you're interested, then please join the Dream Team and stay tuned for more videos.